Oh, for today, for today. If you're after school, if you signed up to take the practice AP after school today, there was one that was done on Saturday. There's going to be one today as well. It's going to be in here. Please understand, this door is going to be closed and locked at 2:50. So make sure, please, you're here. The exam goes that you will have, and I don't believe I have enough calculators for everyone if we are beyond capacity. I only have 30. Understand when you come, I would bring with me, I don't know, to be honest, and this is something I need to find out, if the AP will make you do in pen. Does anyone happen to know that?
We did in pencil Saturday.
In pencil Saturday? Okay. So if you have a pencil, for the practice components, I would strongly advise you, bring a pencil, bring an eraser. The other end of it is you will be getting the two sections, which are 30 minutes for calculator, and then 4 questions, which are 60 without. That takes 90 minutes total. So we need you all to make sure that you're here. This is a donation of my time, Ms. Miller's time, and Ms. Duraco's time. So make sure, please, that you take them seriously. The exams in and of themselves are completely fact-based. There's no opinion on there. So you really got to pick. Make sure you choose where you're going to work. If you've got a question you really want to sink your teeth into, spend your time on it. Do the parts that you know that you're going to be able to get right and work towards the other later. We don't want you not answering things that you know while you're chasing points that you're not going to be getting. The third thing, and this has to deal with what's happening next week. We all had, coming up, we have, and maybe we'll even let you have a couple minutes at the end. Our One Warrior Week is coming up next week, and I volunteered to go through and help out a couple of ways. Number one was getting you all and getting volunteers to go through and staff the staff the cafeteria to help sell, and I believe collect as well. These are the signups that we have so far. We need probably at least 2 would be a good idea. So as of now, these are the openings that we have. Did any of you sign up? Look at this. All right, so we have some people, Mrs. McCarthy, sign up. If you're on here and you can help, it's great. I think it might count for hours towards something. I don't care who you're there and who you're with. You can be down there, it can get you out of a lunch study hall, whatever it ends up being. You're going to be doing 2 things. Essentially, it works out like this. Then the letter days are up at the top if you need to know. It's the AB days. This right here, we really do need people that can go through and help. Who is it? On the D day, we have 2 all-stars already that signed up to help us. So we need, though, and it's not a difficult job. You literally sit at a table, and then someone's going to walk up to you and be like, and it'll probably be some freshman, and they'll sit there and be like, can I buy a shirt from you? And you say, yes, darling, what size? And you go, small. And you go hand in the small, and they go, one of 2 things. They go, oh, it's big for a small. Do you have extra small? No, you need to get bigger. That's number one. Probably not the shirt. Second, my favorite one was when one kid said this last year. They go, these shirts look cheap. They cost like $2 or $3, so guess what? They're cheap, okay? I don't want to ruin it for you. You're getting cotton from the field where the cotton grew all the way to your hand. All of the transportation, the putting the shirt together, the stitching, all of that total is $2 to $3 worth of labor. Are you nuts? Of course it's going to be cheap. Fabulous. You can get it when you're working on it. Monday. I'll send out the link through Google Classroom. You can do whatever you want to, as many as you want to. You all should realize as we get close to the end, maybe you become a little bit nostalgic and say, I want to give a little bit back to Schrader. The other end of it is this. When you're at the desk, I'm going to try to help out. Raise your hand if you have Dr. Rank. Or have Pat. Fabulous. Dr. Rank is organizing some sort of food donation, and it's going to not, you might be able to speak to it, I think it's going to a Webster community, like Webster food cupboard, not a United Way, Monroe County thing. This food stays local. So if you're working at that booth, part of it might be somebody walks up with a bag of green beans, and they go over there. That's how you go there. Or you're telling somebody, shut up and here's your shirt. One of those, don't say that. The other thing is, we've got some things over there. We're trying to make like a nice collage of what it means to be part of Schrader and be part of our warrior family as opposed to the it is one Webster, and we are one Schrader family. They are our cousins from across the street. Like, I have cousins in Wellsville. Doesn't mean I know them. Whatever, they're cousins. You're right. We're family. We don't get it. And I get it. So maybe towards the end, if we have a minute or two, grab one, grab two, grab three. What do the questions on it say? I can't recall. What do they mean?
I've got your back.
That's the theme, by the way, this year is about making sure we all support each other. So I've got your back because is one of them.
I'm glad you're a Schrader because.
Can you imagine if we lost somebody to Thomas at the other end of the family?
And you are important to Schrader.
There you go. See? And they can be generic. You can make them as cliche as you would like. So I'm glad you're a Schrader because you're a wonderful person. From Josh Simon's class of 2018. Wait, sorry, no. Sorry, Josh, class of 2018.
Wow.
No, wait, I want to put the cart before the horse. You haven't gotten all of your English credits, right?
No.
Are you in English this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, none of you graduate unless you pass English and what is it, social studies?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you pass both of them, you're in good shape, all right? That's why I put 2018 on there, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, in any case, so if you can sign up personally on a personal level, it would be nice. Now, the other thing you all picked up, that's number 3 for homework. I'll tell you right now, some of you know the gig. If you start typing in what the questions are into Google, the questions will come up. The other end of it is this. I don't hide it. It's from the 2014. If you want, you can find videos of people fully explaining the 2014 free responders from start to finish. And if you see somebody explaining it and they don't explain it to your satisfaction, there's about 40 people who have done them out, and you can find the video somewhere. You can find the individual question or all of them done out. The onus of this performance is on you. But at the same time, understand, all of you can do all of it. The last thing I wanted to make sure, and there might be more if I forgot something. That was it? Okay, the other thing, on Tuesdays, to make sure, for those of you that stay after, you're going to get a complete, full evaluation. The rest of you will only have the multiple choice. You will be taking a 4-question, the only one that's been available to us, a 4-question practice exam released by the AP, and that is starting on Wednesday of this week. It's going to be Wednesday and Thursday. You're going to bring with you a number 2 pencil. I have calculators for you here. You're going to fill in your answers on a Scantron, and I'm going to grade it both days. You're going to get the exam, you put your name on it, and actually I'll probably even save the Scantron until the end of, we'll give it to you both days. The first exam is calculated free, and you get 60 minutes. We don't have that luxury. You're going to get 55 minutes, okay? 4 options, 4 answers, okay? I don't remember we did it on that specific day. It's on the AP instructions, okay? But understand there's a calculator section that you will get time to answer on, 60 minutes, and then a calculator free, which is 45. So I'm going to be collecting that one early before it starts. But make sure, please, both days you're on time with a pencil. If you've got to go potty, you handle it before the bell. You do not get extra time. Go ahead.
For today's review, is it it's 2:50 till when?
It's going to be 90 minutes to administer it. And if you choose to stay after, I will go over the answers to all of the questions. Who did? You said you went then, and you did? She went over the answers with you afterwards. Did you feel that was beneficial to immediately do it after? Okay, okay. Then I will do it the same. So if you stay after today, but understand, I need you here at 2:50. You will have some late people coming in. Understand, you've got to be respectful of what's going on. And we're giving you time. I'm not, by no means, I want all of you to do so well, and getting more data and simulating the test will really, really help. So that's all of the announcements for today. Where did we leave off? So here's our 2014 exam. Sign into your calculators if you haven't already. Let's see if we can go through and do some of these out in their entirety. Take a look right now. Go through, please, on your own and do out question number 13. Make sure you sign into your calculator. However, if it says A at the top, obviously the calculator is not permitted. You're going to do out question number 13 right now. And we're going to give you a minute and then be ready, because once I say pencils down. You're only going to be inputting what your final answer is. Remember, calculator is not permitted. Give you 30 more seconds. Okay, that's good. I'm going to send it out now. We'll go through. You've got 15 seconds to enter what your answer is. You can click submit on the drop down at the top. We have 24 people signed in, which means I need to have 24 answers. We're at 17 so far. 19. 20. We're still waiting to hear from 4 of us. 3. 2. Now, looking at this, I'd say the results were, relatively speaking, promising. Looking at what we have here, which answer did we go through and select, and how, not the specifics, but how would you go about arriving at that answer? And what did you do to get C? There you go. This question right now is a quotient rule. It looked like everyone except for maybe 1 or 2 missed that. Understand, when you do this out, these are questions that none of us should be missing. You need these 1.2 points to build up your score. So that's the end for that page. Take a look, please, at question number 14. Go through and do out 14. Now, go through and enter what your answer is, please. Go through, please, and enter what your answer is. Okay. So, looking at this, I'm going to start off with, and I don't know how many of these are guesses or not, but what is the setup required for us, or we'll start even at the most basic. What do we need to remember in order to answer a question like this? So I listed out going PVA just like this, position, velocity, and acceleration. Now, I'm trying to go from velocity to the position function. That's my first step. The next thing that I've got to do is figure out how I would go about getting there. So who can tell me how I can go about determining this? This is a challenging question. This is a 4 or 5. I wouldn't even say, maybe a 3, maybe a 3. Mikey, what do you want to say? Hang on 1 second. So I need to take the antiderivative of the sine of 2t dt. Go ahead. Now, how did you go about getting that? Yeah, here's what you've got to remember. Here's how I recall it. If you were to take the derivative of this, would it be a chain rule question, yes or no? So how do you undo the chain rule? No? Well, I mean, you would in this case, but that's sort of gimmicky for this case. What is our way to evaluate out? Is this an antiderivative we know how to do, yes or no? What is it? If you don't know how to do it directly, if that 2t wasn't there, it would be just a regular one that we know how to do. That 2t is there, so I make this a u sub, so I go through and say, all right, well, what is my u in this case going to be? 2t, so my du is going to be 2 and dt. I need to go through and get this alone, so what's the antiderivative of this going to end up becoming? Well, what's the antiderivative of sine going to be? Negative cosine. Wait a minute, just so we remember, it goes sine, cosine, negative cosine, sine. So this is your, going down is your derivatives, going up is your antiderivatives. What's the antiderivative of sine? Negative cosine. So this goes to negative cosine of u dt as of right now, because then what else do we need to go through and do? Get the 1/2 in front, so that's why that dt is going to get replaced with a, yeah, so this is going to be, I guess we'll say, well, when we did it out, I did my swap first, so the integral of, and this would be the sine of u dt, and then I need to find out what dt is equal to, so if I got that alone, it would be 1/2 to u. So I put the 1/2 in front, now I've got the sine of u, du, everything's in terms of u. Take your antiderivative of sine, what's the antiderivative of sine? Negative cosine, so it's 1/2 times negative cosine of, instead of u, what can we put in that spot? 2t, right? And this goes back to what Mike was telling us. These 1/2 go away, and this 2 goes down below. So this would be the cosine of 2t over 2. And now I need to evaluate that out, Mikey, where? So let's evaluate this out when t is equal to pi over 2. And what do we get when it's at pi over 2? Oh, seriously? We can't evaluate out the cosine of pi? Hands up, please. When you tell me what's the cosine of pi going to be? Is it 2 pi? Really? -1. So this comes out to have a value of -1. That's not going to be your final answer, though. Why not? Oh, divide by 2? Oh, what did I screw up? I forgot, even when we did this out, I apologize. I got so busy with making sure I was explaining the part that Mikey gave us. This is collecting the area from 0 to pi over 2, right? Because we're seeing what happens over that interval. So to go backwards and determine our position, we need to evaluate this out. Now, this is all in terms of t still. So I go back and leave this as pi over 2 and 0. Looking at what I've got, what's the cosine of this worked out to be? What did we say it was at this? Was it 1/2? -1/2? Is that right? Now, what's the cosine at 0 going to be? Well, what's the cosine of 0 going to be? 1. So minus, oh, sorry. Minus 1/2. What's that going to give me? -1, right? Or did we make a
Don't you
mistake?
have to get a
Now-
constant and
Wait a minute.
use a point to solve the constant and then
Hang on 1 second, because we're missing one thing that's imperative to our answer. 1 second. We've got to take the initial condition into account, and it's 4 plus that. Somehow this answer, though, should be D. Isn't that right? Hang on, let me double check. Yeah, the answer on this is supposed to be D. So what did we screw up? Because right now it's 4 plus -1. That should give us 3. What error did we make along the way? Molly, do you see it?
Well, I don't know if it's it, but the 1/2.
The 1/2 that's out front here? Oh, okay. Then hang on. Because we divided, this shouldn't be negative then. So this, here, that's where our error is going to be. So when we do this out, this would then be, the signs on these would change. So Molly correctly caught our error of what would happen here. So this is 1/2 plus, now since the sign was wrong here, what does this overall go to, Molly? +1. Okay? Was that what you were going to say, John?
no, not really. Well, I ended up getting the same answer, but not for the right reason. I think I
Okay.
somehow.
Two errors made the right, two
Yeah.
wrongs make a right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, as we work forward, understand it's going to be, these are challenging questions. They are tough. That's why maybe you've got 2 to 3 perfect AD Calc papers every year. Go ahead. Well, keep in mind, I'll take this. If you want to figure out what the number you want in order to get passed, what did we say the passing was on? No. Sorry. What was the number of points to get a 3 that you needed? Does anybody recall? Hang on, let me double check. It was our last page. Here's the thing. So take this. Now, I'll say this. I would put a comfortable safe zone at 44. Take 44 points, divide it by 2. Go through and do that, which would give you how much? 22. Now, from there, each one, and that would mean on the part 1, you would need to get 22 points. But that doesn't mean getting 11 questions right, because how much is each question worth?
1.2.
So divide that by 1.2. So what's 22 divided by 1.2 going to go through and give you? Hands up, please, if you can tell me. Don't estimate it. Do the calculator. 22 divided by 1, what you get? Okay. So I would say if I'm looking to guarantee a safe score, or at least leave the first half of the exam in contention, I would say that that's the case. If I remember correctly, there's 47 multiple choices. So that's not getting a ton of questions right. What's 18 divided by 47? What percent of the questions do you need to be scoring correctly on? 38%? I think so. Okay? I think that that's very, very reasonable for you. Now, as we go back, let's try some calculator ones, which means let's, actually do this. Take your calculators, make sure that they're turned over. I'll prompt you for when. Take a look and do out question number 19 right now. 19, none of you should be missing. 19, none of us should be missing. 1 minute from now. Go through and get your answers in. 1 minute from now. Go through and submit. There's an outside chance that the exam will do well. You will. But you know what you need to do? Bring a couple of $100 bills with you and a stapler. So before they collect the exam, what I need you to do is staple that money directly to the exam. But you want to put a couple on that's selected to be handling it. Okay, so there's a lot of people are on the take, you know what I mean? Okay. We got about 5 seconds left. All right, so we're going to close off in. All right. Now, what we're going to go through and do is this. Looking at the number of answers that I've got about 20 out of 24, and I'll say that it's at least somewhat promising. This is the type of question where if your target is a 3, I would anticipate you getting this question correct. If your target is a 3. Looking at what we have, when I see point of inflection, hands up please if you can tell me these are immediate triggers. What are you linking to point of inflection? Let's go around the room. Go ahead. Second derivative, what do you want to say? Because I wouldn't say necessarily that that's correct. Not even that. Careful when we're going to talk about that in just a second. Yeah. There's something else in here. You've got to make sure that the second derivative changes sign. There's a difference between saying it equals 0 there. It's quite possible that the second derivative will equal 0 and that not work out. The other end of it is, and when we get to it, a sign chart is not justification on the AP exam. You'll find out why in just a minute. A sign chart is not justification. I went through over the weekend and I'm trying to find if someone has compiled a document that tells you everything to write, what works and what doesn't. I found something close, but understand, according to the AP, the College Board, a sign chart is a tool to show something, but does not by itself show it. Yes. So we'll get to that in a minute. But you need to show y double prime changes sign. So the first thing I need to do before I figure out what y double prime is to figure out what y prime is going to be. So let's look at what's there. And Hannah 1, what is y prime going to be? Oh, sorry, Hannah 2. What's y prime going to be? 15x to the 4th plus, I'm sorry, you said 40x cubed? Okay, so what's y double prime going to be then? Who can tell me, please, what our second derivative should come out to be? Okay? 60x to the 3rd plus 120, what? Terrific. Let's set that now to be equal to 0. How many answers should this have, by the way? Technically, the answers, we should have 3. Let me shrink this down. Make sure that we have this. Some answers might be double roots. And when you see, by the way, that there is going to be a double root, that means it's quite possible that there will not be a sign change there. Looking at this, what do we do to solve this out? Adam? No. Let's take 60x squared. It'll leave you with x plus 2, right? So over here, set this equal to 0, so we would get x is equal to 0, and over here, x is equal to -2. Technically, it's plus or minus 0. Now, from here, we would go through, and we're going to sketch out, here's 2 critical values. There's a -2 and a 0. This is going to be what f double prime is doing. This will show you what the function itself is doing. Pick some negative value and watch what happens. If I pick like a -10 over here, somewhere in this region, what is the sign on that going to be? You don't have a calculator. 3 times something. What do you want to say, Steve? So that's going to be negative, which means the graph in and of itself is concave down. Next one, I'm going to pick a -1 and do that out. when you pick a -1? I don't need the number value, I just need to know what the sign is going to be, Jake. So this is positive, which means that the graph is going to open up. What about when I pick a 1? Yes.
Positive.
It's going to be wait a minute. Whoa, holy crap.
Not today. Not today.
Not today. We're gonna get off
That's
the
all I
limited
needed to
Larry
see.
train, right?
That's all I needed to see.
All you needed to see. So where?
I've been waiting
Finally,
for
you've
it.
all year long. I know you got it wrong on the test, but let's go through and make sure we don't make that mistake again. I get so happy when I see these, and there's so few of them. I like to save them for when it counts. What? Now, what notation, if this was a free response, what I need you all to make sure that you get is this. Here is what needs to be written in order to show that there was a sign change. You would go through and say y double prime. Oh, God, and I want to, because it asks about it at specific points. So I would go through and say something about y double prime. No, because you don't want to even use specific values. You want to put something in there. Y double prime
Let's use ranges.
is going to go from being, what was it, negative, to y double prime being greater than 0. That's how you show a sign change. You're saying it goes from being less than 0 to being greater than 0. That's the AP's justification. The sign chart in and of itself will not earn you the points unless you've got enough points where it doesn't even matter. Right? Now, let's see. 20 is going to be a derivative question. Go through right now, please. You all try out number 20 right now. Go through and find. Go through and do out number 20. You don't need a calculator. Oh, sorry. What's your on this last one?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For your, like, if you had to write down, like, a reason why,
Mhm.
if you wrote, like, a more specific thing, like, with hands, that would you not get the credit for it?
It needs to be mathematically precise. So you would need to say something in, and I think that this works. If you had said, we know that there is a point of concavity at -2 because y double prime changes from being less than 0 to greater than 0. I don't even think saying changes sign satisfies the requirements. I have a document that I will share out with you. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
If we say, like, it changes from negative to positive.
I don't know. I can double check with that specific language. I know that they are sticklers about how they want it. There's almost remember in proofs there was like if this then this, right? There were things that were just accepted. This is it. That's what they operate under. That's the system that's operating. Go through right now and do out number 20. I'm going to see if I can find something for you because I know that we've done something similar to 20, or at least I know I texted it out to you all. I'll prompt you in just a minute. All right, so let's do this. And Loves, what numbers is 20? Okay. 20 and okay. Go through, please, and submit your answers for number 20. Now, So the concerning news is a lot of us didn't get this right. However, looking at what we have, I'm going to throw this up, and this was something I messaged you out in the beginning of the year. So, and I'm going to ask some of you if you could walk us through how you went about getting your answer. There's three different forms that the derivative takes. There's three different forms that the derivative takes. I have a good idea, bless you, I have a good idea as to how and what this is going to be, bless you. So looking at what's there, as of right now, that's actually which color form of the derivative is given there. Hands up, please. This notation denotes the derivative. And it's going to tell you something specific. Which form of the derivative is this taking? We've got no takers at all. We can't, by the way, do direct substitution. Cam, which color? The red one. So that's asking you to take, in this case, and evaluate out. Now, we're taking the derivative at what value? 2. So this is asking you to take the derivative at x equals 2. Who can interpret that and tell me what the function itself is going to be? Because the function also is sort of right there in front of you. What is the f of x? Go ahead. Now, how do I go about taking this derivative? Hands up, please, if you can tell me what needs to get done in order to take this derivative. Jake? That is why, oh, let me move this over just so we're clear. Jake clearly told us, and he remembered to do something on here that a lot of us might forget. What did he remember to do? What's that? Chain rule, yeah. So now let's evaluate out this at, was it 2, is that right? So this would be 1 over 5 times 1. Which answer selection is it? That's it. It's that notation that's awkward. Do you want me to send this out to you all through Remind again? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What's that? This right here, watch what they did. Yeah, they combined those right there. So plug the value in. Remember, it's x plus 3. Plug the 2 in, so you'd have a natural log of 5 there. Okay? All right? Now, there was one. Oh, is that a continuity question? Go through right now, please, and do out question number 23. How could you not love waking up every day? Little Bambito. Here's another one. I mean, every day. This is my life. And this was him in the winter. Sorry. This is how it says. He's all dressed up, ready to go for his walk. And I feel so terrible because I think, did I tell you all how he couldn't go out in the snow because of the salt on his paws? No. His little paws started blistering or cracking because of the salt in the road. And believe it or not, he doesn't like shoes. So he couldn't go outside, but trust me, now that he can, he's out with a vengeance. He's back on neighborhood. Oh, who's that? Oh, sorry, it's just me and guy's going to win the Masters. That's another tip. And by the way, none of you even got this.
I did.
See? Get
Sirius Black.
See? From Harry Potter? Sirius Black. Where's the one? Where's the other one? The plus C? See, this one's a good one for me. Where was the one where it says plus C on it?
That's funny. How did nobody laugh at that besides me?
What? Which one? The derivative
Go
one?
back, yeah. How did nobody laugh besides me? I just
That's the reason why it's called going off on a tangent, because it's a something taking off or derivative from the original conversation. Like, people don't understand that, but whatever. So what we're going to say is, what did we get, loves, is our answer for 20. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll prompt you really, really quick. 23, just put your answers in. It's going out right now. Let's see what we go through and get, and we'll discuss what your expectations are for next time we meet. Remember, you're taking those part ones next time we have class, so bring your own number 2 pencil with you. Looks like we've got a pretty good sample size. This won't be right. The correct answer for everyone. Wait a minute, which question was this? 23. Congratulations, we all got it wrong. Every one of you bums got it wrong. Every one of us. We're going to. Stop. If this is the function, take your derivative at 1. How would we evaluate out the derivative at -1? Well, we go through and take this upper piece, and we go through and say, my derivative at -1 is the derivative of this, which would be 3. Look at the lower piece. The derivative here would be -2x, is that right? Yes or no? Yeah. And plug in a 1 there, and you would get +2. Sorry, plug in a -1 into that, and you would get a +2. Are these equal? Are they equal? Not equal. What do we know about the limit? Why doesn't the limit exist?
Limit from the left's not equal to limit from the right.
The limit from the left does not equal the limit at the right. Hello. Every one of you got this wrong. The answer is E. I got it right. No, I told you that the one, I didn't change the correct answer from the last time. I got it right. Really?
Yeah. No.
Sorry. One person, congratulations. These are the results I'm looking at. Congratulations. All-star. Which number was it, E?
Yeah, both the names.
All right, it won't do it. Now, what I'm going to do is this. You all have, listen. Make sure you're here on time after school. What I'm going to ask you all to do is this. What? Because I have to go home too.
Yeah.
It's already an hour and a half. I think asking you to arrive 10 minutes beforehand, or at least 5 minutes beforehand, so we can go over things. The exam goes out at 3. We're not
going to be okay?
Yes, it's fine. What I need you all to do is this. Slide over, grab at least one of those forms, fill it out nicely, bring it over when you're done. That's in exchange. And if you do that, we'll give you an extra 2 participation points for 2. Make it a 2 out of 2.
So who are you writing this about?
Anyone. It's just, why am I glad a person is a traitor? They're supposed to be positive and encouraging.
Whose back do I got? I got.
Who's back? Not a person.
Is it true we get 5 points?
I don't know what you're even talking about. You're making up rules as we go. You're making up rules as we go.
Let's go, Max.
Right. This is our year.
So whose back do I got?
No, it doesn't. It's not a person. It's saying, I've got your back because you're a great person, a traitor. The school wouldn't be the same without you.
I don't get, like, whose back I have.
Because only cool people go to Schrader. Oh, you are? Are you a reader?
No, I'm not the reader, but it's my story.
It is? That's terrific. I'm glad you're reading.
Yeah, you could read mine.
I like that we get a little bit personal at times. Did you fill one of these out already? Bring them over to me. There you go. Look at you. Look at you. Molly's my favorite. Molly's my favorite. All of you are competing for number 2.
Whose back do you
What? Oh, classy. No one needs to see that. You might not want to point that out to people.
You're OP.
Just me, right?
Yes.
All right, loves. Jack, you gotta fill something in.
Oh, I thought this is what it was.
No.
Because you're
So what's OP?
overpowered.
Give me a, make it nice, Jack, and make it relevant. Thank you. Thank you.
You like mine, Matt?
Let's see, did you do more than one?
No, that's the other one's obvious.
See, there you go. Thank you.
Stud.
You're a stud. Give me nice ones, love. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great, hey, don't forget, love, homework number 4.
I tried doing that. Oh, really?
Thank you. Thank you, honey. Any new good stories about the ER, Meg? Here we are, you're St. Anne still.
I haven't seen it, but I work here.
So, good?
Only work
Are you of our?
Yeah.
Matt, me
Nice
and Josh
work.
were in our bag Saturday.
I've only worked
It was bags.
Sundays, and
What time was beef pizza?
like yesterday I left early, so like
Well,
I'm not gonna be there
we'll
till
make
at
it
least
work.
3.
We'll make it work.
everyone works.
I know, I don't know why, but whatever.
Well, I'll be there.
Yes,
Have to explain in words for every single
To go home and cheat.
not for free response at all. Oh, for free response? Yes. Well, some require words, some don't. If it says justify, if it says justify, leave word. If it needs a sentence, it needs a sentence.
So I was out and we were doing the get a five thing.
Yep.
And I never realized I never got the code.
If you go to Google Classroom, right, it's on the thing. Yeah, finish that up. Guys, don't forget your get a 5s. I'm going to give them a grade tomorrow.
The grade book is the grade book?
As in, yes, and it's a completion grade. If you did the get a 5, what's that? No, just the multiple choice. Okay?
I got a 400.
Okay.